Are you ready to get sewing? I have 7 easy sewing projects for the beginner with patterns and instructions too. Coming up. Hey, Chanel here, bringing you weekly videos to help you get better and better with your fashion sewing and be more creative too. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. So you've learned to thread your sewing machine. Getting pretty good at it. But now what? What do you make? What do you make other than a pillow? So, in case you're new here, I'm Chanel and I own a sewing school in North Carolina. I teach fashion design and sewing. I'm a past fashion designer and costume designer for feature films. Love a comedy. And been sewing for a long, long time. Also, in my sewing school, I have seen a lot of struggles. So, I have developed some patterns along the way to help my newbies get good at new steps, like clipping curves, pivoting, different seam allowances, things like that. And so each step, each project helps you move on, and then ultimately helps you get into these patterns. These, even if it says easy to sew, not so easy for the newbie. So, best thing is to not start with these until you've gone through some projects. Now, I have 7 projects for you that I give to my students to teach different skills. Back in 2016, I started a little side business called Project Sew-Way. Almost forgot what it was. Project Sew-Way. And they were kits with all the bits. They were kits I put together and sent them to my students' homes and keeping them sewing. I find the trick is to keep you sewing, and without frustration to do the next steps, you tend to learn more, and you also tend to stick with it. If you get too frustrated, like I did when I was 11 years old and learned to sew and then got one of these, this little orange sundress, I remember, and I attempted to make it and then looked at all these pattern instructions and was like, oh my God, I'm in over my head. So my goal with my students is for them to learn piece by piece, to keep going. So my patterns are included on my website. You just got to go in there and click on I think it says stuff on the tab or products, and then you'll find the patterns. Just go into the tab, you'll find the patterns, and you just click on them, download the instructions and the pattern, and it's right there. So you don't even have to give me your email address. But if you want to, there's this part up there that says contacts, and just give us your email. And I'd love to see some projects that you've made. Check out the progress. Anyway, so 7 easy projects. Let's get to it. First off, it's a very simple one. A lot of my students like to make pillows when they start sewing. I turned it into a bow pillow. Ta-da! It's your simple square, your simple pillow, but crunched in the middle with what we call a bow knot. I'll show you that. This is what the pattern looked like right here. It has the ingredients, what you need, fabric. It says main fabric. That would be like, we call it the self fabric in the pattern business. I don't know if they have it on commercials that says self, but in the manufacturing they say self. So the main fabric, then your contrast fabric, and it's just a half a yard of each of those. This might be bigger. I don't think you need that much on that. So these were the kits I had. I had like more stuffing, headbands, because you can also, there's also a pattern in there to make bows like this that you can wear in your hair or put it on your dog's collar. So it'd be pretty cute. I tried it with my cat. Didn't like it. It was a beautiful sequin one, a little navy sequins. Anyway, so instructions are in there, the pattern's there, pretty simple. Number 2 is something we do in our class number 3 of our sewing classes, and they are emoji pillows. Emoji pillows. So this one's about 10 years old. Every time I hold it up to show my students, they're like, his eye's falling off. Anyway, I go, I know. He's 10 years old. So this is how to make a circle out of a square, and how to sew curves, and how to clip curves. That's the lesson there. If you do it wrong, you get a kidney, like this, or a potato. So this was either not cut right or not sewn right, or both. You get a kidney. So easy instructions in here. They look like that. And just follow step by step. If you see a spelling error, just move on. It could happen. Anyway, because I did those a long time ago and I haven't edited them for a while. Project number 3 is, it's not step number 3, but project number 3 is a watermelon pillow. I love this project. It's so cute. So here we have pivot points, straight lines, and then more curves right here. Also, the added bonus of sewing on a button. I actually have a video on how to sew a button on. I'll put it up in the cards up here. And then if you haven't sewn on a button, it's a pretty easy process. Everybody should know how to sew on a button, especially if you're in the military. You're probably not, but anyway. So, watermelon pillow, instruction, have that right here. It looks like this, watermelon pillow, easy instructions. And actually it also shows you how to tape the pattern pieces together. So all the patterns are included there. I think on this one I have 2 downloads to do the patterns. I think there's like 8 pages, which is not a big deal, but somehow I had them broken up. And just connect the dots. I'll say connect to the next little notch, and then you'll have it looking like that. And then that's what you do. I think this one took a little bit of fabric. A half a yard of red, a quarter yard of white, half a yard of green. And of course, watermelons could come in any color, so you could do that. Also, I love flannel fabric. That's this kind of soft fabric, easy to find in fabric stores. It kind of sticks together, so it helps the newbie sew a little easier. A simple woven fabric is the best to start. Don't start with knits. They really tend to mess you up. Anyway. Project number 5 is our apron, like this. I've got 2 of them here. So cute. So we got little pockets in here and a nice bias finished edge right here that just make us the tie. So it's a little half apron. And then here's one and another cute little print right here. I actually packaged these up too and gave them as gifts at an expo I was doing. But this I have cherry fabric, and then I also included bias tape in here. This is what the pattern looks like. Bias tape is, a lot of newbies don't know what this quite is or how to use it. I just dropped the package, but this is called a 1-inch double fold bias tape. You can just buy it at Hobby Lobby or Joann's, and it just goes over the edge right here, and you stitch it. Pretty simple. And this project here, I made the bias tape, and that's a whole nother process, not good for a newbie, but I do have a video on how to use bias tape, and I'll put the link up here also. That's kind of like after you learn the foundation, you start working with bias tape, and you're going to find you love it. It really helps with everything. Okay, what number are we on? Let's see, I think 3 more on this thing right here. So number 5 is backpack right here. Just a simple backpack, putting a drawstring casing, ribbons through it, and little tabs right here, and I put a little pocket on it, added a cute little button, and then hot glued this stuff on. This has been sitting in a box for a while. I didn't hot glue the button on, that's good. So, but a little simple backpack, drawstring backpack right here. That is a simple one. Here's the pattern. It's only like 4 pages long, and step by step there, you'll get it. Very simple. Number 6 is neck pillow, right here. Oh, this is a little, is it a cat? I made this a long time ago. Cat, put some ears in there, little felt pieces right here. And then this little tab, actually you can put it through here to hold it on. Should have made one of these for my husband. I make my husband about one of these a year because he always leaves it on an airplane. I think I'm just going to pre-cut some like that. anyway, you just stuff it. These are stuffed with those little beads, which I don't recommend because when you take them out of the box, they kind of static electricity and they stick to you. So that happened with one of my students' dads. He somehow got out into her room and he found them somewhere and they started sticking all over him. It was pretty funny. The story was funny. I wasn't there, but that would have been funny. So neck pillow. And our last one, it's one of my favorites, is this little tote bag. So there's probably a ton of tote bag patterns on YouTube. You can find this one. I actually saved for the number 7 because it's a little harder. There's a lining involved and a little kind of figuring out how to finish it off and stuff it and all that stuff, and then little stitches to get in there. It's, you know, by the time you do those ones, you're going to be a piece of cake on these. So this is what the instructions look like here, and a little summer tote. Works in the winter too. So pattern pieces, not too many in there. So go to my website, futurefashiondesigners.com, and go to the tab, products, it says stuff, find the patterns in there somewhere. Just click on it, download them, and then get started. Hopefully it all walks you through them, and just be patient with yourself, do a little project at a time, and pretty soon you're making all those beautiful garments that you want to make. So keep at it. I'd love to see what you're doing. Give me a comment below. If you like this video and learned something, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next sew bit.